The Champions Ballad. This is the name of the second DLC that was released for Breath of the Wild. It added a new dungeon, but it also changed the existing ones. Each Champions DLC quest had you complete 3 new shrines and refight the blight that was in their Divine Beast. During the refights, you are back in the Divine Beast, but it's different. There's a weird haze and you can't activate the main control unit like you normally can. What's interesting is you can activate refight mode before even entering the Divine Beast. Each of the 4 dungeons in the base game follows a specific formula. Go to the village that a champion lived in. Talk to the leader of the village where they will say that the Divine Beast has been showing weird behaviors recently. Then you do something to prove yourself as a hero to the champion descendant or leader. They will then send you on a journey to attack the Divine Beast in order to board it. Once on the Divine Beast, you need to activate all 5 terminals in order to examine the main control unit. This will cause the Blight Ganon to spawn and fight Link. Once you defeat the Blight, you activate the main control unit to complete the dungeon and get an ability from the champion. After you do this for all 4 Divine Beasts, the game will let you start the Champions Ballad quest. This activates the one-hit obliterator challenge, where you have to defeat new enemies to unlock and complete 4 new shrines on the Great Plateau. Once this is done, the one-hit obliterator will shatter into 4 pieces, which correspond to the 4 champions. Here's where you do 3 shrines in each champion's respective region. After this, you are finally able to do the Blight refights. So how are we able to trigger refight mode before doing the Divine Beast? As I just stated, there are a lot of requirements in order for you to get into the refights. It turns out, there are only 2 things the game checks for to see if a Divine Beast should be in refight mode or normal mode. These are for Plateau 2 to be complete and for you to obtain 1 Champion's Emblem. Plateau 2 is the one-hit obliterator challenge. You need to beat all 4 DLC shrines on the Great Plateau to have the plateau be considered complete. This will trigger the cutscene of the one-hit obliterator breaking and allow you to start the song quest for each champion. The song quests are what present 3 shrines for each champion that you have to solve. Instead of getting a spirit orb, you get an emblem that corresponds to the champion. You only need 1 of these emblems for a region for the Divine Beast in that region to be put into refight mode. Just doing Plateau 2 and 1 champion shrine doesn't make all Divine Beasts go into refight mode. It only does it for the Divine Beast that the emblem corresponds to. So, a Meadow emblem will only put Va Meadow into refight mode, not the others. Now there's an issue with these 2 in-game checks. You need to beat all Divine Beasts in order to be able to start the Champions Ballad. Luckily, we have a glitch that allows us to get into any shrine no matter what. This glitch is known as a Shrine Coordinate Warp. We use Shrine Coordinate Warps, or SCWs, to enter all the shrines on Plateau 2, and we can also enter any other Champions Ballad shrine in order to fulfill both requirements to get a dungeon in refight mode. SCWs store the cutscene of entering one shrine and bring it to another shrine in order to enter the second shrine. This is used to bypass the requirement of completing all the dungeons in order for these shrines to appear. How SCWs are done is very fascinating. First, we do a fall damage cancel on the wall of a shrine. Fall damage cancels allow Link to be temporarily grounded while midair, so we are able to activate the elevator cutscene midair. Then we jump and shield surf out of this shrine with the elevator cutscene stored. The game doesn't have each elevator correspond to the specific shrine, it just sees that you activate the elevator and sees what entrance radius you are in. So, we go to the entrance radius of another shrine while staying in the unload radius of the other shrine. Then by looking back at the shrine, or picking up an item, it will start the cutscene and Link will be warped into a different shrine than the one he originally activated. We are able to do this for the Meadow Shrine at the Flight Range and the Navora Shrine at the Ica Hideout. For Plateau 2, we have to do something else. I said you need to stay in the unload radius of the shrine whose elevator cutscene you stored. Well, if you leave this radius, the elevator will unload. For most shrines, that radius is 64 meters. Every shrine on the Great Plateau that you would use to enter a Plateau 2 shrine is just barely outside the unload radius. But there is a way to prevent the elevator from unloading. The game checks 1 frame every second to see if it should keep the elevator loaded or if it should unload it. Although, if you have the quick menu open, the game will not unload the shrine. So, if you store the elevator cutscene of a shrine, and buffer the D-pad all the way until you're in the entrance radius of the DLC shrine and look back at the original shrine, you will be warped into the DLC shrine. We can do this for all 4 DLC shrines on the Great Plateau. Alternatively, you can do an ISCW or Infinity SCW. In short, some shrines have an unload radius that is very, very large. Katakar, for example, covers the entire map. ICW also uses the instant text box glitch. By picking up a choo-choo jelly on the same frame it changes to a different jelly, it will have a quick text box that closes instantly. So, by activating Cut to Car and doing the instant text box in the entrance radius of another shrine, you will be warped in that second shrine before the game has time to unload the elevator cutscene. So, we SCW'd to all 4 Plateau 2 shrines. Then, when we left the last shrine, it played the cutscene of the one-hit obliterator breaking, even though we never picked it up. Then, for this instance, we will SCW to the Yiga hideout shrine and complete it, so Vodnoboris will be in refight mode. This fulfills the requirements of Plateau 2 and one Divine Beast shrine being complete. Now, if we go to Vodnoboris, it will be much different than normal. The most noticeable thing is the hazy mist that covers the entire dungeon. This mist is only there during refight because it's supposed to look like an illusion in Link's head. You may also notice that all enemies that should be there are gone. No guardians or malice heads. These are not there during the refights, so they are gone now too. When you finally activate all 5 terminals and go to activate the main control unit, the prompt to do so is not there. This is because when you do the refights, you're not supposed to be able to activate the main control unit. The sole purpose of the refights is to kill the blight there. Because you're not able to activate the main control unit then, you can't do it now. Sorta. You can activate it on both Meadow and Naboris, but not Rudania and Ruda. It's on Naboris by turning the middle portion of the camel in a full 360. This is because when you turn the main unit, it despawns the prompt to activate it. Once you turn it back to normal, it doesn't check for if the dungeon is in refight mode, so it respawns the prompt. This also works for Meadow, but not Rudania or Ruda. So, refight mode changes the dungeon in all these ways, but doesn't automatically spawn in Thunderblight. Entering the refight the normal way triggers the boss flag. That is how you get refight mode before doing any dungeons. It's pretty crazy how much you can break this game. If you want to see more breaking of this game and other Zeldas, check out my Twitch channel where I go live and stream speedruns. Thank you for watching. See ya.